Good evening. We are going to call the meeting to order. Please stand for flag salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Smythe, could we have roll call?
Mr. Gart,
Here.
Mr. Hall. Here. Mr. Krupa,
Here.
Ms. Mangan,
Here.
Mr. Nasser,
Here.
Mr. Sanfilippo,
Here.
Mr. Wondrak, here. Mr. Adnizio.
Here. Thank you. We are reconvening the meeting that began at 6:30. We went into executive session. So at this time, we are going to start with our student representative report for the evening. Good evening.
Hello. This week begins the holiday theme week. On Monday, students enjoyed participating in the annual holiday pajama day. Today was ugly sweater day. Tomorrow is winter whiteout. Thursday is flannel day. And lastly, holiday spirit explosion, where students and staff have the ability to showcase their holiday spirit. Additionally, to add to the holiday festivities, yesterday during unit lunch, our class officers held a fundraiser for Toys for Tots, where students could donate $2 or bring in a toy as well. This allowed them admission to watch the Polar Express, a hot chocolate station, and other baked goods. The event is definitely something that will be done again in the future, as many donations were made to a great cause. Please mark your calendars for our school's holiday concerts. West Belmar is tomorrow, December 18th at 7 p.m., Wall High School, Thursday, December 19th at 7 p.m., and West Belmar, Friday, December 20th at 10 a.m. Please visit the district website for January winter concert dates. Congratulations to our National Honor Society inductees. This year, the Wall High School chapter inducted 103 students, the highest in recent years. We are very proud of their accomplishments. Congratulations goes out to the Knights of the Week for November and the students of the marking period. These students are dedicated to both their academics and our school community.
Last month, we reported the success of our girls' gymnastics, field hockey, and girls and boys soccer. And this month, we are happy to celebrate our football team who won the Central Jersey Group 3 championship with a 14-13 win over Rumson. They also set the record for most wins in program history, with 12 wins this season when they defeated Manasquan 14-6 on Thanksgiving Day. A special thank you goes out to our band and cheer squad members for supporting our team throughout the season. Tonight, we are happy to be here to celebrate the Wall Knights football team and both soccer teams on a successful season. A special thank you goes out to our student fan section for supporting our student athletes. Our school community supports one another, and we are proud to be a part of it. On behalf of the Wall Township students, we would like to wish all of our families a happy holiday season. We hope you enjoy the break with family and friends. See you in the new year.
Does anybody have any questions for them? Oh, okay. All right, moving along. So we have the students of the month for 9th grade, Isabel Vieira. 10th grade, Liam Sitting, I believe it said. I'm not 100% sure. I apologize. 11th grade, Vincent Winningham. And 12th grade, Nicholas Vargas. Knights of the Week for 11th grade, Trevor Lokerson. 9th grade, Tara Garibay. 11th grade, Nicole Panikokis, I believe, and 10th grade, Jackson Adams. Congratulations. And then students of the marking period, 12th grade art, Catherine Desfano. 9th grade business, Alexander Wallenjus. 12th grade English, Alexandra Fenton. 10th grade family life, Abigail Baccarmano. 11th grade math, Joseph Hooper. 12th grade music, Grant Dillon. 9th grade NNDCC, Catalina Villa Fortuti, I believe. I'm probably killing these names, so I apologize if you are here. My name's not much better. Ninth grade health, Olivia Germitter. 12th grade science, Alexandria Fornino. 12th grade social studies, Dalton Coppola. 12th grade technology, Paul Kearns. And 12th grade world language, Nikki Russo. Congratulations to all those students. Yep. Are any of the students I just mentioned here tonight? Come on down. Yeah. Take a picture? Yeah. Okay, then I have, all right. Going along with that, a couple things under President's Report. I'd like to congratulate the varsity boys, girls soccer team and the football team for their incredible success this season. I was lucky enough to attend the championship games for all of them, as well as games during the season. The one thing that should be noted is the incredible turnout from parents and people in the community to all three championship games. The two games at Keene University on Friday night and Saturday morning, and Rutgers University Stadium. It was a really nice showing of the community getting behind our student athletes. If you've never attended any of these games, it's really a treat to see the skills that these student athletes have. It's really remarkable. So on behalf of the Board of Education, we'd like to thank the athletes and their coaches for your commitment and your strive for excellence inside the classroom and outside on the field. The community is certainly proud of you, so thank you for what you've done. I had the opportunity to attend the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade orchestra concert last week, as well as the intermediate school chorus concert at the high school. Again, something else, if you've never attended, it's well worth going to see. Coming from someone like me who can't hold a note or sing a chord to play a chord to save my life, I'm always in awe by the talent these kids have. It's really, really remarkable, and great job to the teachers who guide them as they grow further as musicians. This past week, I attended the holiday tree lighting along with Mr. Hall and Mr. Sanfilippo at Town Hall. As with most events in Wall, we had quite a few Wall staff members there volunteering their time. 6th grade chorus performed under the direction of Miss Erin Randvisky, I believe it is. Mrs. Rad, yes, she does go by that. She's a chorus teacher here at the intermediate school. They announced at the event it was her 7th year doing that. So I'd like to thank her for her commitment to the students and to our school system by taking her time out and going and doing that. Certainly everybody that was there enjoyed it. The 6th graders sounded great, and there wasn't that many of them. And I believe it was the first time they all played together or sang together in public. So it was really a nice showing. So congratulations to her and the students. Also, the WTEA, which is the teachers union here in the district, they got involved with We Are a Love Project. It's a new nonprofit organization that was formed by a woman named Phyllis Dynard, who's a foster parent. So the WTEA heard they were looking to create gift packages for 250 Monmouth County foster children. The WTEA asked each building to concentrate on a specific part of the package. Buildings were assigned either books, snacks, crafts, stuffed animals, or hot chocolate. All were dropped at their office, and donations were delivered to We Are Love by Stacy Sinati at the Wall Intermediate School. So congratulations to them for certainly making a difference in kids' lives this holiday season. Also, this past weekend was the Wall Alliance Pancake Breakfast. And this is something else our teachers and the union are very involved with every year. They write the grant that provides the ingredients for the pancake breakfast. Kathy Sayers, Jamie Lynn Campbell, and Gail Marr, they were at a table and welcomed the community members to the event. Also, Alyssa Fernando Regne, thank you. She's a student's assistance counselor at the high school. She was there with the students from the Delta Club who were serving food. Also, this Saturday, December 7th, Cape at Central School had a cookie, it was called Cookie House and Cocoa. What they were doing was building gingerbread houses. There were many staff members that were present at that event. I didn't, unfortunately, get everybody's name, so I didn't want to start mentioning names and leave somebody out. But I would like to thank them for coming out and showing support and helping the kids and parents build gingerbread houses. And also a special thank you to Central School Principal Jill Antonello, who was also there helping on a Saturday morning. And then one final thing, there was one other thank you I forgot to give. For the tree lighting, Wall Intermediate School teacher Lori Copland and Wall Central School teacher Hillary Adonisio, they were at the, I'll speak up. So, intermediate school teacher Lori Copland and Wall Central School teacher Hillary Adonisio, they were part of an organization here in Wall called Wall Helps Its People, and they were at the tree lighting with other members giving out free hot chocolate to community people that attended. So every month we try to take time to recognize things that we've heard from our staff that things they do in the community and share it with everybody, because a lot of things, they certainly do a lot here in our schools, and they also do a lot in the community. So it's very important to try to recognize people for that and say thank you. So congratulations to all our staff members who have done fantastic things, and all the staff members, unfortunately, that we probably miss because they do great things every day. And with that, Superintendent Dyer.
Thank you. Well, between the students' report and the board president's report, you have covered all of the activities, and I want to reiterate how great it was to attend concerts and athletic events and see the success of our students, National Honor Society. Certainly Wall Township has a lot to be proud of. In recent years, the district has adopted a tradition of acknowledging high school teams that have won championships at the state or shore conference level. And fall of 2019 was a historic season for Wall sports, as it marked the first time in school history that we won 3 state sectional titles in the same season. And we're very excited to acknowledge these 3 amazing teams tonight. At this time, I'd like to call up head coach Mike Juska to talk about the girls' soccer team. In just his 7th year as head girls soccer coach, Mike Juska has already been named the state coach of the year and has won 2 shore conference and 2 state championships. This year, he led the team to their 3rd state sectional title in the last 4 years, and he is going to tell us a bit more about this remarkable season and this amazing group of student athletes. Mike?
Thank you very much. Before I go over my speech, I first want to congratulate Tony Grandinetti and the Wall football program and Gary Lynchter, the boys soccer program, for their outstanding years. I have firsthand experience working with both of them and seeing the time and effort and the passion they have for their programs and, building the programs that they both have basically almost accomplished so far. So Wall Township community, we're super lucky to have both of them. So I just want to give them a quick round of applause for those 2 guys. I'm going to start off the night by obviously thanking Mrs. Dyer and the Board of Education for honoring us here tonight. We're extremely lucky to have a superintendent and a Board of Ed who are so supportive of student athletes in this district. Secondly, I'd like to thank the Wall High School administration, especially our athletic director, Tom Rideau. Tom took a chance 7 years ago when he hired me as the girls' coach to take over a pretty prestigious program in this at this high school, And also, he just always has an open door policy if ever any questions. He's a great mentor. So I'd like to thank him for everything. Also, Ms. Sergio, Mrs. Scott, and Mr. Davis for all their support they show myself and the players in school. I also obviously would have to thank two very important people. The first one's Mrs. Barbara Renato, Mr. Verdue's secretary. Like I said, this is my 7th year doing it, and I still make a ton of mistakes. She always keeps me in check, make sure I hand things in on time. So she's amazing. I have to thank her, and obviously Mr. McDermott, our athletic trainer. The girls and boys soccer, we have a pretty grueling season, practicing playing at least 6 days a week, playing almost 3 games a week. So injuries happen, and he does a great job making sure that we have 11 players at all times. Next, I would like to thank the Wall Township community, especially our Wall Soccer Club. They make my job, and I know Coach Lyncher is probably going to say this too, extremely easy with the type of players that come through their program that they develop, and then we get them. And they're just elite players. Obviously, they allow us to use their turf field in certain games, which is also helpful. And the fact that the girls program and the boys program are both here tonight is something that I don't think many high schools, and I definitely don't think many soccer club programs could ever say that happening in the same year. So it really just shows what they're doing is working. So hopefully they continue to do that. Next, my coaching staff, Ms. Janisek, Ms. Simon, and Ms. Manafra, for giving the players structure and guidance. I truly believe I have one of the best coaching staffs in the state. All of us have played in college, and I obviously couldn't do that without them. I would also like to thank our parents. Their dedication and support every year is tremendous. We have great parents who basically never miss a game, travel wherever the game is, miss work to go there. They always go above and beyond to make the year special for the girls when it comes to setting up fundraisers, pasta parties, our banquet, breakfast before our state championship game. Also, I got to thank them for raising such great kids. It's a pleasure working or teaching in Wall and obviously coaching in Wall because the kids are so great to work with. And lastly, I would like to thank the players for working extremely hard to accomplish the goals that we set in the beginning of the year. This is my 7th year as the girls soccer coach. I've never been more proud of a team as I am with this group. As a coach, one of the most rewarding things is seeing improvement from your team throughout the year. Everyone has heard the saying, it's not how you start, but how you finish, and this team is a prime example of this. Going over the season, we had a rough start. We started the season 1-3 in our first 4 games. And as a coach, I always compare each team in each season with, building a puzzle. Certain puzzles or teams are more difficult to complete that puzzle. So imagine, when it comes to the morale, after going 1-3, we start in August or in the summer, putting the pieces together of the season, and then all of a sudden going with a 1-3 start. Imagine someone just knocking the puzzle to the ground. Most kids wouldn't pick up that puzzle and start over and even work harder to achieve our goal of completing our team. With our senior leadership, we did exactly that. So from that 1-3 start, from that point on, we ended the season with 15 wins and only 3 losses. We ended up winning the B North Division. We made a solid run in the Shore Conference tournament, upsetting the number 7 team in Alpin, and ended up making it to the quarterfinals, where we ended up losing to the number 2 ranked team in the state, Middletown South, in a very close game. Even though we lost that game, I think that was an important game for our season because it gave us the confidence that we could play with any team. From there, we went into the state tournament, the Central Jersey Group 2 tournament, where we earned the number 1 seed. Ended up winning the sectional championship, outscoring our opponents 18-1 in there's 4 games. Another big, I think, was an important part is in the finals of that game, we played Governor Livingston, and we beat them 2-0, and they were the defending Group 2 champions the year before. Moving on, we ended up playing the South Jersey champs in the semifinals of the Group 2 semifinals, where we ended up winning 2-1 in overtime, which is probably one of the most exciting games that I've ever coached. It was memorable, too, with the boys soccer team coming to celebrate at that time, so thank you guys. But that was the 4th time that we were heading, or 3rd time in 4 years, that our program was heading to the group finals. Unfortunately, that fairy tale season didn't end the way we wanted to, losing with 3 minutes left in the second overtime. After playing an amazing soccer game, and realistically being inches away from winning that game in regulation. Not bad for a team that started the season 1-3. I'm extremely proud of every single girl on this team for not giving up, for representing our program with class, and being great role models for the upcoming student athletes. I want to thank you guys again for the opportunity and your support. Girls, I'm going to call you guys up, and we're all just going to come up and take a picture. All right? So, Izzy Arovich, Callie Burke, Juliana Cavazzoni, Jordan Kecke, Grace Gazoldi, Alex Hummel, Marissa Shirelli, Mackenzie Tramberg, Caitlin Brown, Katie Byrne, Erin Carr, Izzy Casillas, Katie Mish, Ava Pirelli, Olivia Ramiz, Mary Thorpe, Jamie Valvo, Hannah Gerbecki, Katie Neufer, Carolyn Senna, Paris Thorpe, Kirsten Brown, Rory Paris, Kelly Kinnear, Katie Clabby, Brianna Peterson, and Coach McCarter, or Manoffer, where is she? She's here.
I'm short, so I was okay. Mike, thank you, and congratulations again on a great season. The boys soccer team also has a proud history of winning championships. However, the team had not won a sectional title since 2004, and this year's team was determined to change that. To tell us more about their championship season is head coach Gary Linstra, whose team won the Central Jersey Group 3 title for the second time in his 19 years as head coach.
Thank you, guys. Superintendent Dyer, Mr. Smite, members of the Board of Education, members of the Wall community, and the family and friends of the Wall Soccer. It's an honor to be here to be recognized, not only for the soccer team, but the girls' soccer team, and obviously the football team. An outstanding job. Again, to have a very successful soccer team and a very successful football team in the same high school is almost unheard of. It's done numerous times. I think in '04, the soccer team and the football team both won sectional championships and things like that, and that's an outstanding job through the community and the hard work that the boys have done through that, and have all those boys and have competitive teams. Usually it's one or the other, and it's an outstanding job of what the youth programs are doing. The girls program, as Coach Juska said, outstanding job. 15 years ago, I was coaching Coach Juska to win that state championships, and to see what he's done with those girls. He was an incredible player, all-state player, and is an incredible coach is what he's doing now. So outstanding job to the girls. It was super fun side by side making a run like that. So I just want to congratulate both those guys again. Thank you very much. Been a great season. Like Coach Justice said, just a couple of thank yous. I'd like to thank Tom Redu, our AD, for his ongoing support. He does a tremendous job with us, and he's always got his doors always open, like Coach Justice said, and he's a great person to lean on and a great person to work with. In his office, Mrs. Renato does an awesome job getting us with our buses and transportation and equipment, and I don't know what I would do without her. She's an outstanding person in that job. And again, Mr. McDermott, the athletic trainer, just getting our boys back together. At one point in the season, we were playing 6 games in 12 days. It was every other day, and we were pretty banged up, and he did a tremendous job keeping our guys together throughout the course of the season. And again, just an outstanding person. Again, I'd like to thank the Wall Soccer Club, not only for what they do with the youth program and getting these kids ready for us, but also giving us the opportunity to showcase our teams on that turf. The boys actually played 10 games on the turf this year, and we just appreciate everything you do and letting those big games against St. Rose and Manasquan on that. It's just a tremendous field and a great opportunity for the boys. I'd like to thank my coaching staff, Coach Hanson, Coach Farrell, Coach Leach, John Michael, for giving the players structure and guidance. They're more than coaches, and I thank you for your dedication to the players in the program. I'd like to thank all the student athletes here. I know it's very hard for you guys to balance family, school work, your sport and social life. Your sacrifice doesn't go unnoticed, and your sacrifice led to champions, so congratulations to all of you out there. I'd like to thank the parents for their ongoing support. They have raised outstanding boys that I've coached over the last 19 years. You can see their commitment to hard work and dedication, and they learned that from you. So thank you for the parents for raising such great, outstanding boys. To the season, we had a great season. Our record was 17-4-2. We had, like Coach Justice said, you have up and downs throughout the season. We had a lot more ups than downs. We had just a typical solid wall soccer year. We beat our rivals, St. Rose and Manasquan, and most important, we beat Ocean to win the B North Championship for the first time in a couple of years. So that's beating Ocean is always a great accomplishment, but beating them for the championship of B North was outstanding. We qualified for the short conference tournament for 8 straight years. We have a 5 seed. We ended up, going into the quarterfinals, losing to the eventual winners, Freehold Township. We played a tough game at their place on a rainy day and unfortunately lost 2-1. That tournament's a great experience. It led us to the run that we went on for the states. One thing that we had to do was we kind of regrouped and learned from our mistakes. This year we've done something, and last year we videotaped all our games. And we got to all the boys, and I took clips of all the goals that were scored against us in the season and short conference, and we kind of went over why those goals were scored, and I think that was the focus that they needed to get back on track. And you'll see, and as I talk about the Central Jersey, why that was such important. We qualified for the Central Jersey Group 3 tournament for the 13th straight year. We received the number 1 seed, and we were scheduled to play 16 seed Penn Saucon in the first round, and we started a legendary run at this point. We won the game 6-0, and I want you to pay attention to the opponent's scores for the next 5 games. After that game, we went against a battle-tested Freehold Borough, which we played in the first game of the season. They had much improved, and we ended up beating them 2-0. All right, notice another nothing there. As our next opponent was a very good Mercer County team, Allentown. The game ended in a 0-0 tie. Coach Juska briefly said that, but one of the boys said it was one of the greatest experiences when we were going into overtime. The girls came off the bus from practice. You saw them running down the field, and the boys said that was just such an emotional boost to help them. We ended up winning in PKs. Again, that game ended in a 0-0 tie. The opponents scored nothing again. We moved on to the Central Jersey Group 3 finals. Against Ocean Township, which we beat again for the B North Championship. They were much improved. It was a very windy day. We took the wind actually Ocean took the wind into the first half, and we held on for 40 minutes. And in the second half, we had the win, and we put a tremendous amount of pressure on Ocean Township, and the boys just wouldn't give up, and we ended up getting that 1 goal to win the Central Jersey Group 3 Championship. The boys showed tremendous character and winning attitude during these championships, and again, the other team scored no goals. We moved on to the semifinals of the Group 3 against a young, talented Triton team that went into overtime 0-0, and we found a way to win in overtime. Nico Del Pietro scored an overtime goal, which was voted by Jersey Sports Zone as Golden Goal of the Year, and that put us in the Group 3 finals, which we hadn't been there in 15 years. The Group 3 final was matched up against a strong Millburn team that was in the finals last year. The boys gave everything they had. They were tired, beat up if you were at the game, but their heart and determination to play for their brothers, in the Wall jersey was tremendous. The game ended in a 0-0 tie. Again, another 0-0. Another opponents didn't score a goal. We fought the entire time in overtime. We had a couple of chances, but unfortunately we lost in PKs. The boys showed tremendous, toughness, mental, fortitude going into this tournament. We went into the whole entire state tournament without giving up one goal. We went 6 straight games with a shutout, which included 3 overtime games, which is probably an extra 47 minutes total. It was a legendary and a record-setting season, which the boys didn't give up many goals, I think 13 on the year, and recorded a school record of 17 shutouts. So congratulations to you guys. Outstanding job. Lastly, I just wanted to say not only were the group of talented young men, but they're really a great group of young men. They really cared about each other. And one thing that we asked them in the beginning of the season was, what can you give? Not what can you get, but what can you give to this team? And every day they gave their best effort in practice and games. Every day they gave a positive attitude no matter what the circumstances was. They gave a boost no matter how many minutes they played. They gave a better chance to win no matter what position we asked them to play. They would do the dirty work so their teammates would score the goal and get the glory. They would sacrifice their personal ambitions to better the group. They led by example, all right, and they led by an example of core values and actions. This team embodied the question throughout the year of what can I give, especially our 4 senior captains, which then led to our seniors, followed by our upperclassmen. Their selfless attitude led to success, not only in winning in champions, but celebrating the success of others, especially the girls and the boys football team. And those type of characteristics and that willing to give to the team is every type of athlete, every coach would want those kids on their team. And I'm super proud of the young men that they turned into, and I'm so proud to be recognized. And again, thank you again. I'm going to call each of the boys up, and we'll take a picture just like the girls. Sebastian Campanelli. Christian, I forget how you say the last name. Cosenza, sorry, I went. Alex Longo, Thomas Perry, Nico Della Pietro, Tag Ankrum, Terrence Burns, Ryan Garibay, Matthew Penkethman, Neri Ortiz, John Knight, Sean Southwell, Jack Gotch, Michael Beer, Evan Crilly, Kyle Horowitz, Aiden McGregor, Dan Hyde, Matt Armenti, Trevor Osborne, Philip Lyons, Jesse L. Hernandez, Vladimir Vasquez, Emmett Arovich, Jake Pepe, and Justin Rodriguez, and the coaching staff, John Michael, Coach Leach, Brian Farrell, and Coach Hanson. Thank you.
Congratulations again on a great season, guys. The football team had a historic season under third-year head coach Tony Grandinetti. Not only did they capture the 5th state title in school history, they also set the program record for wins in a season when they won their 12th game with a win over Manasquan on Thanksgiving Day. And thank you for doing it at home. Tony was just recently named the Shore Conference Coach of the Year and will tell us more about this championship season.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to the Board of Ed, Superintendent Cheryl Dyer. Thanks for having us tonight, and it's an honor to be here. It's an honor tonight. I think tonight is such a special night for one reason. There are 3 teams, 3 fall teams being honored tonight. I think that deserves another round of applause for girls soccer, boys soccer, and football. To have the success that these three teams have had in one season, I think is truly remarkable. This is truly a historic season for the fall sports, and my hat's off to Coach Juska, Coach Lindstrom for soccer for what they did. Again, to the Board of Ed, thank you very much. Mrs. Dyer, thank you very much. Our school administration, Ms. Sergio, Mrs. Scott, Mr. Davis, thank you for all the support that you give us. Our athletic director, Mr. Radu, like the guys have said before me, Tom's a great resource for us, always an open door policy. Anytime we need anything, I can go in and talk to Tom, and he's always a great resource for us. Our athletic trainer, Brendan McDermott, is always there. When I get into our season and talk about our season, there was a stretch where we were playing 4 games in 19 days. And we couldn't do that without the support of our trainer. Our cheerleading coach, Julianne Rizzatello, Nicole Smith, and Ashley Foltzer. This group is always supporting us. No matter what, the weather, they are always there to support us. I thank the teachers of Wall in the high school, always giving us support. I thank the student body. That come out every Friday night and always support us no matter what. I think the AYF program, for their support. I try to build our program with them in mind, and I try to incorporate everything that we do with them as well. You will notice on a Friday night that you'll see a lot of little guys running around in jerseys because it's all about the split W on our helmet. And you know, I'll talk a little bit more about that as I get into the season. Our booster club, our parents are phenomenal. We wouldn't be able to do half of the stuff that we do without them. So I thank them. My coaching staff, there's 13 of us. It's a pretty big staff. Football is very demanding, just like all the other sports. Maybe I should rephrase that. I think I am demanding. I demand a lot from these guys. From August 12th to December 8th, it is 7 days a week. It is time away from families. It's time away from the wives. It's time away from kids. So I thank the coaching staff, and I'll go through them right now. It's myself as the head coach, Mike Sermonero, Bob Grace, Freddie Springle, Kyle Watson, Jeremy Bellina, Joe LaFrelita, Tim Heaney, James Cadigan, Brian Duffy, freshman head coach Victor Rivera, Dan Shine, and Matt McDonough. My hat's off to them. That's, I think, one of the best staffs in the state, and I couldn't do what we did this year without them. And then there's the players, because I think Mike said it before. When you start a season, no matter what the sport, we all have athletes. And this year with this team, we had pieces of the puzzle. And it's our job as a coaching staff to put those pieces in the right places, which it's always a challenge. And it's a challenge that I'm always going to be up for. But the players bought into everything that we were doing. This program is built on 2 mottos. The first one is Pride, Poise, Team. And you might see it, you know, on some of the shirts that the guys wear around, and you might see it around town. But we hang our hat on those 3 words, pride, poise, and team. Our pride is our personal stamp on every single thing that we do. Poise is doing the right things at the right time and handling adversity with pride. And then the last thing is team, and it's a little cliche, but I still like it. It's together, everyone achieves more. Those 3 words, the boys bought into that. And that's what led to our success. There's one other thing that did, and I'll get to that once I review our season. Our season started on November 22nd, 2018. That's the day we beat Manasquan in Manasquan to take the lead 10-9 back then on Thanksgiving Day. And that's the day when the group of boys that we have set our goals for the 2019 season. And when we set our goals, we got done that game on a Thursday. That Monday, we had set our goals, and the weight room was packed. And it's the hunger and the drive and the determination of the team that I saw, that I knew we were bound for good things in 2019. 2019 came in August, and I don't think anyone predicted what we did. We went 12-1. We set a school record for wins in a season. We finished the season number 1 in the Shore. We finished Central Jersey Group 3 sectional champions, state champions. We finished the season New Jersey, NJ.com, 8th in the state, and I believe 13th in the state from another poll. We had a tremendous success, and we had a good start going through the season. Our second game of the season was against Rumson, who won 5 out of the last 6 state championships. That was our home opener. That was a big game, and we came out and we had that one circled. And when we won that, we opened some eyes, some. But when we go to the 5th game of the season, we went up to Middletown and we played Mater Dei. No one gave us a chance in that game. No one, except the 13 coaches, 63 players, and supporters of this program. But everyone in the Shore Conference, no one gave us a chance. The night before that game, I instilled our second motto for this team, and it's family. And it's not just family. It's forget about me, I love you. That motto, these boys took it and ran with it. And it's basically promoting a selfless act. These boys put the team before anyone else. Before anyone else, they cared about the team. There's no individuals. They came together that night before that game. The results took care of itself. I knew going into that game, especially going into halftime when it was 7-6, I knew we were coming out victorious. From that day, we started rolling. We entered the playoffs, the number 1 seed, the number 1 overall seed in Group 3. We were scheduled to play Robbinsville, then it switched up. We played Allentown on a Sunday, a nice Sunday afternoon game. We took care of business 49-7 that day. The following week, we took on Lacey, won 35-18, and then we faced Rumson, once again, the defending champ 5 out of the last 6 years. We beat them for the second time in one season, which we'll have to check the record books. That might not have been done in any time in the recent past. We beat them 14-13 to win the sectional title. We beat Manasquan, again, at home, to take the 11-9 lead in that series on Thanksgiving Day to win the 12th game of the program, 12th game of the season, and a program record. We went up to Rutgers on December 8th to take on a very talented Woodrow Wilson team. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way we wanted to, but that still does not take away what this team has accomplished this year and how proud I am of these guys. So once again, I'm honored to be here standing before you tonight. I thank you for honoring us tonight. And I thank the boys for everything that they have done, the parents for all the support, the community, the amount of support that we have gotten and are still getting today, because one of our goals, and believe it or not, we have started preparing for next year already. One of our goals is to be back here next year. This is not a one-year thing, and it's part of the program that we're building. So again, thank you to everyone for all the support. Right now, I'm going to call the guys down. I do have 63 guys on the roster, so please bear with me. Guys, when I call you down, just come on down here. We'll take a picture. Logan Peters, Jake Meyer, Richie Wansala, Jaden Carasquillo, Charlie Sasso, Cole Brennan, Dale McNally, Colin Riley, Dean Terry, Jake Lowe, Jake Davis, Frank Passantino, Joey Introna, Gus Sededucato, Justin Kelly, Mike Galos, Jerry Winchester, Chris Prasad, Rocco Palmieri, Casey Larkin, Matt DeSarno, Garrett Coppola, Eric Rodriguez, Lou Pilla, Jose Oliveras, Jackson Cohen, Orlando Valeriano, James Petrides, Bobby Van Arsdale, Will Terry, Hunter Pappas, Ryan Legier, Mike Donahue, Ian Ackerman, Austin Lord, Jacob Halby, Grant Puharic, Sal Gargiulo, Kyle Pettit, Christian Ottinger, Nick Chapman, Joe Bono, Brian Byrne, Jack Remeshowski, Jack Walter, Max Oakley, Joey Palmisano, Robert Lorenzo, Jack Houston, Joe Summers, Jeff Skellern, Eddie Van Woudenberg, Vincent Lorenzo, Ricky Boker, Bobby Cuccinello, Josh Davenport, Shane Arlakis, Blake Rezick, Anthony Canzanieri, Jackson Adam, AJ Shilp, Matt Dolliv, and Kyle Rosenfeld. Thanks again, guys.
Gentlemen, before you go away, if you could just stay there for one moment. Because this is such an historic year where we have 3 teams that we're recognizing, we'd actually like to get you all up here for a photo. And the good news is we'll let you leave afterwards, okay? So ladies and gentlemen on the soccer teams, if you could come down and we'll just squeeze you all in the middle here.
I can move it a little bit, yeah. Hey. Actually, it's like,
Got it. You can push it right that way. Yeah, yeah. Take it off. It just kind of goes. Yeah. Good.
Right.
Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations, Chad. Awesome job. Oh my God. Got it. Thank you. Congratulations. That's perfect.
Thank you for indulging us for that photo opportunity.
Wanted to say a little something.
I'd also like to say there's something about football that it takes a village to have a football game. So Coach pointed out that we had the support at all games from the cheerleaders. We also had a remarkable marching band and a group of flags. And I have to say, they looked great on the football field at Rutgers Stadium. And the number of fans that were there at Rutgers was really remarkable as well. So it does take a village. It had lots of volunteers at the shack, making sure people were fed and happy. Lots of chaperones because that's a big venue. And so thank you to the staff, the students, the coaches, and all of the families of Wall Township.
At this time, we'll have public comment. Anybody that wishes to speak, please come forward on action items. Anybody? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to the business portion of our... Number 13, could I have a motion for approval of the Secretary's minutes from executive session and workshop meeting for November 12th and executive session and business meeting of November 19th?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 14, could I have a motion, actually, we don't have any new policies, so 14B, could I have a motion for approval for 9210, Parent Organizations Revised?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. And I will open the public, for public comment on this policy. Seeing none, close. All in favor?
Aye.
Or, I'm sorry, roll call vote. I'm sorry. Yes.
Mr. Gartz?
Yes.
Mr. Hall? Yes. Mr. Krupa?
Yes.
Ms. Mangan?
Yes.
Mr. Nasser?
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak? Yes. Mr. Adnesi?
Yes. Thank you.
Did you go over regular public comment for the first, before the agenda items?
We did.
I couldn't hear you up here.
We called it. Number 15.
Now they're yelling in the hallway. Can I have
Oh, Number 15, Board of Education, could I have a motion for A through C?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Let me ask a question about A, the data coordinator. I know it was mentioned that there's some schools and not at others. That's part of this. Can you just expand upon what their role is a little bit more?
Sure. In the past, this position has been funded out of the Title I grant, which allows us to look at data and make sure that subgroups are being appropriately served. Some schools have had that position because they qualify for Title I funds. We've now moved into a situation in the district where all schools qualify, or almost all schools qualify for Title I funds, but the position was never approved in the collective bargaining agreement for all schools. So now we're approving it. The amount of money is an hourly rate, and the amount of hours that can be approved is tied to what is available in the grant application.
Thank you. And just a quick question, the data rolls up to who? Who's the system-wide data coordinator?
The data rolls up ultimately to Dr. Gleason in curriculum and instruction and the principals for analysis and improvement in programs, part of program evaluation, so that we can continue to improve on student achievement.
I have a question. I'm a little confused then as to why it says data coordinator and then light and sound. Is there two different?
Yes, the sidebar is for two different positions, both earning stipends. We also did not have a light and sound stipend associated with the intermediate school, and given this fabulous auditorium, we have more and more need for light and sound at the intermediate school.
Thank you.
Mr. Smythe, roll call, please.
Mr. Hall? Yes. Mr. Krupa? Yes. Ms. Mangan?
Yes.
Mr. Nasser?
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak? Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Gartz? Thank you. Mr. Adnesi?
Yes, but I'm going to abstain from A and B, family member that works in the district. Number 16, Ms. Dyer.
Thank you. With regard to the superintendent's report, could I have a motion to approve 16A, which is the Human Resources Report?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Smythe?
Mr. Krupa?
Yes.
Ms. Mangan?
Yes.
Mr. Nasser?
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak? Yes. Mr. Gartz?
Yes.
Mr. Hall? Yes. Mr. Adenizio?
Yes.
Thank you. Can I also have a motion to approve item B1, the decision that was rendered in that HIB case?
Make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Seeing none. Mr. Smythe?
Ms. Mangan?
Yes.
Mr. Nasser?
No.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak?
No.
Mr. Gartz?
Yes.
Mr. Hall? No. Mr. Krupa?
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio?
Yes.
Thank you. Continuing with 16B, can I have a motion to approve the decisions that were rendered in items 2 through 13?
Make that motion.
Any discussion? No. Mr. Smythe?
Mr. Nasser?
Yes on 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and no on 3, 6, and 13.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak? Yes. Mr. Gartz?
Yes.
Mr. Hall? Yes. Mr. Krupa?
Yes.
Ms. Mangan?
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio?
Yes.
Thank you. Continuing with 16, can I have a motion to approve on consent agenda items C through J?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Smythe?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I'm just interested in the future if we could, because this is an annual, is this an annual report? It appears to be, right? Number E, recommend approval of 2019-20 school year health and safety evaluation of school. So that's an annual,
Yes,
correct?
that's an annual.
Yeah. Maybe as a future item, we could take a look more at the detail on that form, only because it's been something that has been a topic of interest for not only board members, but the public. And I don't know, it might help with some of the things that we've been discussing.
Sure.
Is that something, something we could look at, I guess, soon? Because then it would be in place for the evaluation then, correct?
Right. It's part of CUSAC, and actually this year, because we are going through CUSAC monitoring, the statement of assurance is not required, but because we do it annually, we put it in. The county superintendent comes out and actually goes through the facilities checklist for the schools as part of the on-site CUSAC monitoring.
So is this particular form something that is just kind of universal through all the schools?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a Department of Education
Okay.
document, and it's rather extensive and has to be completed every year by the custodial supervisor in each building.
Thank you.
To note, it's usually not due until December 30th, but because we're doing CUSAC, it's due by November 15th to the county. The statement of assurance isn't due until January 30th, so we're actually ahead of the game here.
Right, our checklists were all submitted by November 15th, but again, so it doesn't fall off our radar in a year that we're not being CUSAC'd, we put it on the December agenda just to be in compliance.
Anybody else? Any discussion? No? Mr. Smythe?
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Wondrak? Yes. Mr. Gartz?
Yes.
Mr. Hall? Yes. Mr. Krupa?
Yes.
Ms. Mangan?
Yes.
Mr. Nasser?
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio?
Yes. Number 17, Mr. Smythe.
Ask for a motion to approve under the business office items 17A through I by consent agenda.
So moved.
It's not A through L.
L?
Yes.
Sorry. I was gonna do them separately, but all right. No, just kidding.
So moved.
L, thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Smythe.
Mr. Wondrak? Yes. Mr. Gartz?
Yes.
Mr. Hall? Yes. Mr. Krupa?
Yes, with the exception of C as it pertains to self with the PO 2001455.
Ms. Mangan?
Yes.
Mr. Nasser?
Yes.
Mr. Sanfilippo?
Yes.
Mr. Adenizio?
Yes. Okay. At this time, we will open up for public comment. Please come up to the microphone. Anything. Anything.
I'm Samantha Bassett. I live in Wall Township. I'd like to add my voice to the others in our public schools community that found the superintendent's email to the district regarding gifts to be an extremely poor taste. I'm dismayed that the superintendent prioritized making sure parents knew that gifts to teachers and staff are discouraged in an email wishing people a happy holiday. The parents in this district value, respect, and appreciate our district teachers and staff, and one way we can show our appreciation to them for all that they do for our children on a daily basis is by giving them a gift from our families for whatever holiday they may celebrate. It's a season of giving, and in my opinion, no one is more deserving than our district teachers and staff members. Does this board really discourage that? I've contributed to numerous class gifts for my 5 children's teachers and other staff members, and the class parents have always made clear that any contribution is completely voluntary and that the class gift is always from everyone in the class, whether or not a particular family contributes. I've purchased gifts outside of the class collection because my children enjoy giving a gift that they personally chose for their teachers. Adding a reminder that also serves as a warning and created confusion about gifts is yet another example of an act that was not only totally unnecessary, but also contributes to a toxic culture and low morale among our educators and school staff. If you want to know why it seems that parents are fed up with things going on in this district, this is an example of why. As a parent, I found it insulting that my family's or another's genuine wish to show appreciation around the holidays to our children's teachers and support staff, bus drivers, custodians, maintenance, and school security officers is discouraged or viewed as an attempt to curry favor. A child selecting a gift with their family for their teachers isn't an attempt to curry favor. It's a way for us to show appreciation and that we're thankful for all they do. Not one employee in this district expects a gift from anyone, but they certainly appreciate the gifts they receive from their students, whether the gift is a hand-drawn card from one student or a very generous gift card from another. Mr. Adenizio, you have a family member that's a district teacher. Does she favor students who give her a gift card over others that don't? Mrs. Mangan, you are an educator. Are you swayed to show favor to a student that gives you a gift over another student? Is Mr. Dugan or another security officer going to protect a child over another because one gave them a holiday gift and one didn't? Of course not, and this suggestion that professionals would act this way over a holiday gift is entirely insulting and demeaning to them. I've talked to several teachers and they felt that this email served as a warning to them, and they're worried about being written up for accepting gifts. This toxic attitude towards staff and parents needs to change, and it should change now. This email was hurtful to the teachers and staff in this district, and they deserve an apology. Thank you.
Thank you.
Betsy Cross, I live in Wall Township. Yeah, I found that email very offensive as well. I don't get it. I mean, Ms. Dyer's been here since December 2014. We didn't get it in 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and we got it this week. Doesn't make any sense to me. Your time could be better spent doing so many other things in the district. So enough said on that. Samantha summed it up perfectly. Just wanted to go over a couple things. Disappointing I didn't get to talk before public comment. You know, there were still people in the room. I'm talking to a soccer mom, football. You know, wait till everybody leaves and then start the meeting up again. So now, if I go over, I'd like to have the 10 minutes if I do. I'm hoping I don't. Couple things. There were 4 different agendas put up. The last one was put up, I think, at 3:34 p.m. If you could, every time you put up a new agenda, highlight what the changes are. I mean, we cannot figure it out. One thing noticed is you had a Latin teacher on there as a new hire, I think, and then now she's not on there. Or, so if you could go over what that was. But it's so difficult. It just makes it so much easier. You have to highlight the changes. It's December. I know you don't want to be here, but, you know, I'm here. You know, I don't know if anybody else is here that ran. Let me see. No, the other 2 people that ran are not here. So I'm here. I know you spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time, too. That's why I ran. So disappointed that, you know, I wasn't picked. Could you go over, I guess, Mr. Sanfilippo, how you picked that firm? And did you call and ask for referrals from the last 3 companies that last 3 school districts that they found their superintendents for? I didn't hear exactly how you picked that firm. If you could go over, yeah, what are we getting for the $12,500? I would have liked to have seen a contract attached, and there's nothing here. Where is it? We shouldn't have to put in an OPA for something as important as hiring another superintendent. So we had Leadership Advantage when we hired Dan Simon. We had RPAT for when we hired Ms. Dyer. We got to get this right. Sidebar, so follow up with Mr. Gortz, you know, how many hours are these people expected to do? I do remember it a few years ago. Who is going to be doing it? Do we have names of people that are doing the analysis? And what's the maximum hours spent? There should be a maximum on this. And number 3, I see the settlement for the yearbook advisor. So nothing infuriates me more than seeing this and looking back at my email that I wrote to the board back in June in 2017. And I'll just read a little bit of it. Dear Ms. Dyer, in response to your email below on Friday evening, June 9, 2017, I'm extremely uncomfortable with you mentioning that you will be personally handling the investigation regarding the Wall Township High School censorship situation. I put this in writing to at least 50 people, numerous state agencies saying the superintendent cannot do the investigation. Because what's going to happen? We're going to get sued. And here we are tonight. I knew that was going to happen. It's why I wrote this. You could not do the investigation. Then I went back, because I've been here at every meeting, went back and look at what you summarized for the minutes, which is even so disturbing of what you put in the minutes. So everybody can go back, and you have to go back to who was on the board at the time, because those are the people to blame, because those are the people that let Ms. Dyer do the investigation that we now have a lawsuit for. And I don't want to be paying this lawsuit. And I want to know where the money's coming from, because you only budgeted $50,000 for lawsuits, judgments against the school district. And I did not see any transfers on here tonight. So you voted on it, so it shouldn't be more than $50,000, because that's all you had in the budget. So if you can go over that, Mr. Smythe, where exactly that is, so I can look that up, because I did look it up before I got here.
Thank you, Ms. Cross. Your time is up.
Yeah, I'd just like to read the
It-
minutes.
You are done. Thank you. Is there anybody else for public comment? Seeing none?
I'm just going to read this paragraph.
Ms. Cross,
and
you are
it
done.
says-
Ms. Cross, you are done.
No, I'm going to
No,
read it.
you are done. Ms.
It
Cross.
says, Ms.
you are
Dyer
done.
reported to the
You are
board
done.
on
You are
issues
done.
related to,
Thank you, Ms. Cross. You are done. Your time is up.
it says.
Thank you. Your time is up. We were very respectful to you, and listen, now we're asking you to be
Details will
respectful
not be
to us.
discussed
Your
as
time is up.
employees have rights to confidentiality.
Thank you, Ms. Cross. Your time is up. Your time is up.
She will
Thank you.
ensure that
Please sit
something
down.
similar does not happen in the future in regard to personnel. Corrective and disciplinary action will be
Okay.
taken at some point.
Yep.
Right, I wanted to.
Any board
I
members
wanted
have
to
anything
finish.
they'd like to add?
I'm finished.
Okay.
So please answer my questions. And go over the amount for the lawsuit. Now that you voted on it, we should all know what it is, so I don't have to put an
Mr.
Oprah in
Sanfilippo,
tomorrow.
do you have something to say, please?
I do. In reference to the questions posed on whether we did any investigation into SEA LLC to head the superintendent search, absolutely. There were emails that were sent out to all of the Board of Educations that they have placed superintendents for in the last 3 years. There were also emails that were sent out to the references that they also listed in their packet. The responses were very positive. There were about 4 or 5 different questions that we asked, and in reference to the selecting of SEA, individually, I would say that I was happy with their focus, with their data collection. I can only speak for myself, but I feel very comfortable with them heading up the superintendent search. I look forward to working with them. And, I also wanted to thank Dr. Francisini and the other vendors that came. I thought I would especially thank Dr. Francisini for coming out and how he spoke about the district. One of the things that he mentioned was heart, and I feel that as well. Living here and going through the schools my whole life, and still living here, and now being on the Board of Education. And with that, I would also like to wish everybody a happy holidays.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a comment in regards to Mrs. Bassett's comment. I do agree that this policy needs to be looked over, especially because there is, as we mentioned, some vague areas. No teacher should feel by any means, that they can't take a gift from a student. There's really, honestly, no better feeling that when, a student, even a hug or a simple card or drawing, sometimes that means the most to you as a teacher. I can say for my own children who are in the district, there are so many employees and faculty members, that go above and beyond, and, the holidays are all about appreciating people who, give their all to your kids, and I really feel that we should look over this and compile different information at, our policy meeting, so I'd like that addressed.
Thank you. Anybody else? No? The one thing I'd like to say in regards to that is, I do agree, and especially with the card aspect of it. We recently, my oldest fur baby passed away, and the cards that my wife received from her students actually brought a tear to my eye when she brought them home. It took me a couple days to read them, but I mean, it shows you how they care, and it's not about necessarily the presents they get, or sometimes it's the simple card saying thank you or sorry. So, and as we know that there is more to it than, unfortunately, you read the policy, and I said this before, that you read policies and they're very dry, and they don't sometimes fully express the true meaning of it. So with that, Superintendent Dyer, would you like to say something?
Sure, I'll clarify the question about the sidebar. The sidebar establishes the rate for the data coordinators. It does not establish number of hours, nor does it establish the individual that might be selected to be the data coordinators. That comes afterwards when there is a need, the position is posted, staff members apply for the position, and then on the HR report, you would see that a individual is named as the data coordinator in a particular school, and that's where you would see the not to exceed a certain number of hours or not to exceed a certain amount of money. So that's reflected in the HR reports. And also in the HR reports, you would see that the budget shows that the funding for that particular position is either coming from the district budget or coming from a grant, right? So the sidebar just establishes the rate. And then in future collective bargaining agreements, you would see that position listed with all of the other stipended positions. But until such time as there's a new CBA, you see that as a sidebar you'll see it as a sidebar on the website. Thank you.
Can I speak to the item with regards to the selection of the consultant for the executive firm? It included that we did do a thorough, diligent research of the references and got recommendations from the previous Board of Eds that they worked with. But in addition to that, we're looking forward to this organization helping us with things that we know as a board and that the public has expressed in terms of an interest, and that is keeping the line of communication open and allowing people to know where we are in that process. It was a slow process to get started for many reasons, but we're very excited that that can be changed at this point, or not changed, but going forward in a more positive direction for us with notifications of when those meetings are going to be for input, things of that nature that are going to make this search successful for the next superintendent. We're all on the same page with that, with you, the public, with each other, with the staff in the school. So be assured that we are working on that. And I appreciate the questions. I also appreciate the teachers that are in our buildings, not only the teacher staff, bus drivers, that you, as you said, they do deserve a recognition, not just this time of the year, all the year long. And I know that the end of the school year brings different celebration with it as well. And I hope that people can express their thanks to those people in whatever way they choose.
Anybody else? No? And I guess, just to clarify something that was said, in regards to that policy, it does not say, and the intention is not that teachers should not receive any kind of gifts or cards or anything like that at the holiday season. The wording in it says nominal, and unfortunately, nominal could mean different things to different people. I guess, it goes to, in regard, I guess the thinking at the time, not having been on the board in 2009, would be that it'd probably be inappropriate for a parent to give a card to a teacher, something of that nature. But certainly the regular gifts that teachers receive during the holiday season are certainly appropriate, and teachers should not have to be afraid to think that they can't receive anything, because that is not the intention of that policy. And we will revisit that policy in the new year to just make sure that it specifically cleans that up so people understand, because there's nothing worse than thinking something's out there that could harm you when that's certainly not the intention. And with that, I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday season, safe and happy and healthy new year coming up. And could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.